Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Oh, it's going to be fun today. Excuse me. We're going to have a good lesson today. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in getting lessons. I appreciate you. The numbers are good. Let's do what we do. Again, I appreciate you. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is to get all right thinkers to know thyself. Give everything you need to make that happen for you. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be know thyself. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to enlighten you with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm in the book. Right thinkers, let's talk about. I just gave you a nice little long lesson, but I'm trying to make it shorter. But this is right thinkers. Let's talk about understanding or the synopsis of the story of Hetheru and the destruction of evil men and women. I'm gonna break it down for you. Hopefully, you get a better understanding. So that's why the synopsis. Okay, breaking it down. Hopefully, you get a better understanding. Let's go. The story of Hetheru Djehuti, right quick. Now, some say back then, Hetheru, the goddess of beauty. The Greeks call her Hathor, okay. But she the goddess of beauty, and she also represents the what? The eye of Ra. She transformed herself into the form of a lioness, again, or lynx, and killed who? All the evil people. Back then, if you was evil in the center, death was for you. Literally. All right. So, and she killed the evil people who what? Who plotted against Ra, the Lord of all, God. Having killed all those who were what? Evil. Now, how does she know who the evil ones from the good ones? Okay. We carry ourselves in such a way that it's easy to recognize one from another. When I was on the corner, I knew who was who just by the way they walk, just by the dip in they walk or the skip in they hop. But if you was a lame, I can tell that too. Why? Because you didn't look right, out of place. So we recognize. They tell you, real recognize real. You come up, oh, okay, you cool. You come up, no, my man, ain't nothing happening. Moving on. But you had to be able to have discernment. That's what they're saying. And when she was doing what she's doing, she had none. Okay, watch this. Proof. She was what? She killed all the evil one. But what happened? She forgot what? Her true identity. What was her purpose? And she became addicted. When we lose ourselves into something that's good to us, you become addicted. Sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, it's coming over, takes over you. Watch this. And became addicted to what? She became addicted to the taste of human blood. So she did. It didn't matter to her if the human was good or bad at that point. She wanted the blood, and that's what she got hooked on. Again, she lost herself, and she got hooked. When we don't have control, something can control us, and that's what they're saying. That's the concept. This is synopsis. I'm breaking it down as we go. Hopefully, you can understand it. And what happened? Because of this, she continued to kill what? Everyone, not just evil, she could find. And she roamed the earth killing. Okay, called a killing spree. That was the original killing spree. All right, but then what? Seeing that mankind would soon come to an end if Ra didn't put a stop to her killing everything, and Ra sent who? A messenger of wisdom. Who could that be? According to our God and goddesses, that got to be Djehuti. Okay, the man of wisdom, the God's mind. She called him to what? To bring his daughter back. So he got to go rescue the eye. Everybody got a story about the eye. Mine's is from creation. Tefnut and Shu got lost in the noon, and he sent the eye out to bring them back. And when he brought them, when Shu was brought back by the eye was replaced. So she was upset, and the eye is a female. Yep. So she didn't like it. So to appease her, Ra put her here to protect and keep eye on things from that perspective. Okay, so she's always ready to do what? Protect Ra. That was her job. Okay, but when you hear the word straight away, when he called Djehuti to bring his daughter back, straight away, what happened? Djehuti appeared and transformed himself into what? A baboon to go and find Hetheru. Quick lesson. When you hear that word straight away, that means like transforming, like bam, like instant. They said straight away it happened because the last lesson I gave you, it says straight away, Nu turned into the cow to take Ra up into the sky. So straight away means instantaneous happening, okay? Like bam, abracadabra, and it's there. Like magic, I guess, okay, another word for it. But the idea was straight away meant instant transformation. And he went on the job to go find Hetheru. At first, when he met up with her, she threatened to eat him too. Okay? But he was clever. Again, that's Ra's mind, wisdom. And he enticed her to what? If you want to get anybody's attention, no matter what, the first thing you got to do is get them to listen. The first order of learning, the first order of communicating, somebody has to be listening to the divine stories that he told her, the lessons I'm giving you about the God and goddesses. That's how you teach. That's how you get across information. We're in the information age. This ain't the first time we've been in Aquarius. So understand now, it's modern information, and we just pouring it down. You can Google and get anything you want now. Okay? So teachers about to become absolute. The information I'm giving you, they might be able to put that on Google, and you ain't got to listen to me. Nah. Moving on. They call it AI. All right. But he told her all about Ra, which is her father, and reminded her of how a beautiful human form and that how good life was when she was not destroying everybody. Okay? He spoke to her, spoke about her glory as the eye of Ra and the honor in which the people respected her in Egypt and bestowed upon her. So he convinced her. Gradually, her desire for blood and killing started to dwindle. And she began to what? Desire to what? Regain her former place as the mighty goddess of beauty and passion. She want to be herself. Hello. Thus, Djehuti did what? Led her back to Egypt and back to the rightful place among the pantheon of God and goddesses. That's the story of the eye, or the story of Hetheru and Djehuti. Now we're going to gloss on the destruction of the evil that of man and women. We talked about that earlier. Nice little long lesson. I'm going to shorten it and try to break it down a little more in depth for you. Now, again, synopsis. The destruction of the evil man and women is a myth pertaining to Hetheru and Djehuti. Is extremely important. Why? Because the teachings in reference is to the nature of human consciousness, the source of what? Human soul, and the way and process to spiritual enlightenment. As human beings, we're spiritual beings having human experience. We need to get spiritual knowledge of God. Become God conscious. Hello, let's go. So, and it don't mean being religious. Let me get that in there. Moving on. There are several stories, variations of the ancient Egyptian myths related to the eye. I got another one coming up for you. And one tells that the eye left Ra and went into creation. Again, Ra created everything until he put himself into it. He couldn't really find, no, something's missing. Yeah, him. So the I consider him into creation, and what? It got lost. This is the concept, this is the story. And that's for all humankind. This is the concept for all of us. Watch. Ra, the divine self, which is in all of us, part of him is in us, sent Tahuti, his wisdom aspect, to find the I, which is what it represents as human beings, our individual soul, us as human beings. Watch this. I hope you're getting it. Now, this is the synopsis. Break it down for you. I'm taking you along slowly so you can understand. All right? Before I just gave you the story, now I'm breaking it down as we go. The I represents human beings, okay? And to bring it back to what? It's soft. It's real self, true self. God, like Hetheru. It was through what? The magic and wisdom teachings of the god Tahuti that what? That the I finally realized who it was and agreed to what? Return home to Ra to sit with her father back again. Again, when the I got there, another I. That's how she took her place here now. Okay, that's where she resides. And Ra placed it on what? His brow in the form of the Uranus, the serpent, where it could what? Rule and protect him from the world. Okay? And another variation of the story, it's a few of them, holds that, watch this, this is a good one too. The I left Ra and went into Nubia, okay, in the form of the lioness Hetheru. Now, in her aspect as the what? The destroyer. Hell has no free will like a woman's scorn. That's who Hetheru represents. You don't want to upset her. Why? She gonna tear stuff up. And her aspect as a destroyer of evil. Remember, only bad things and evil people did she go after. Evil and the unrighteous. How we gonna make that happen now? So when Ra heard this, he sent to Nubia God Ari Hems Nefer. That's the name of Shu and Tahuti coming to one to bring the eye back. All right. Now they took the form of what? Baboons. Again, the wise with symbols of wisdom. As soon as they found the eye near the mountain on the sunrise where Asar was born, everybody's born on the mountain on sunrise. All right, but the eye refused to leave. Why? Because it had learned to enjoy its new existence. It was enjoying what it was doing, its new addiction by just bloodthirsty, and it was destroying those who had what? Committed sins. Okay? Plotted against Ra while on earth. That means all human beings who went against Ra, she's going to rip you a new one, destroy you. Simple as that. Now Tahuti worked his magic on the eye, and again, brought it back. Another variation story holds that Ra sent, again, Shu and Tefnut in search of the eye. The real story, again, these stories are like fish tales. Depending on who's telling them. It start out as a goldfish. When it get done, it's a whale. This story, you got, now, my creation story, got Ra sending the eye out for Shu and Tefnut. They got Ra sending Shu and Tefnut out for eye. So you see how things can go? I'm just witnessing it. I like to keep it real. I'm saying it for myself. And what happened? Again, whoever went, the eye resisted, all right, in the struggle. And then it shed tears. And from the tears grew man. So mankind comes from the tears of Ra, which they're supposed to be tears of joy. Okay? But they say tears are what? Sorrowful, a bad thing. So human can't, so mankind is based on what? A sorrowful concept, which is what? He's the miserable part of God. He's the human part. Not good. Why? Let me show you. The relationship of tears to man, it symbolizes what? That the idea of mankind, what? Is the expression of the desires of divine self to what? Have human experience in what? The realm of time and space. We come here for a reason and a purpose. I keep trying to explain that to you, to know thyself in order to go back. We're in human form for lessons. These are lessons in what? Life, human beings, to get what? Experience from a spiritual concept in a physical form. Where we at? Now, and further, watch this. Okay. Now, divine self to have experienced the realm of time and space. And further, watch this. Tears are, again, symbolic, are a symbol of human expression. Why? Because it implies that the human experience is what? A sorrowful condition and sad state because of what? The consciousness has been degraded, become ignorant of itself, and it falls to a level of gross, limited human experiences. We think we're more human than we are spiritual in what? The form of an individual. You ready? Ego. Bing, ding, 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 ding. This ego thing. I got to do a lesson on that because I just got a modern perception about the ego, and it's on point. It's perfect. Modernized. I'm going to dress the ego up for you. Trust me. I got the concept. I love that. And it proves out. Even modern concepts still go back to they understand the ego, so I'm good with that. All right. But my point is the ego is what we identify with is okay. It should not be in control. It's the best servant. It's the hardest worker you got. But if it's in control, oh, you're going to have problems with him. That's the biggest fight you're going to have within yourself. That's the holy war between the ego and what it wants. Higher self wants what's right. You be in the middleman, your call, your decision. That's all. Pros and cons, good, bad, all that don't make a difference. You are the decision maker for you. Moving on. That's the concept in humans. Watch this. Because we are unconscious of who we really are, our ego is in control as opposed to what? The expansive, limitless self, which is God. When we become conscious of who we are, we can do miraculous things. Okay? And this contraction in consciousness is what allows your ego to emerge as an individual and a distinct personality out of where? Nowhere. And I'm glad they put that way. I'm going to put a pin right there. Wow. Quick lesson. From the ego standpoint, a child is born to the world. Once he breathes, his ego is starting to take form. Why? Because it's what he identified with himself with outside the connection to his mother. So the ego is your identity card. That's your calling card. So you can't get around it, but you have to conquer it. Why? Because in the first 7 years, that ego is growing. And it's 7 gates of the ego that every self goes through. And this is why I get it now when they said first 7 years, I get it. But they broke it down so nice for every year that the child grows and learns different things as they go. Perfect example, perfect breakdown. So I got to get that lesson in for you because I learned it. I want to get it to you because I thought it was a great lesson. But back to the ego comes out of nowhere. You create it. That's why when you get high conscious, it disappears, so to speak. Why? It acquiesces. It don't need to be in control. It don't really want to be in control. It just knows it's going to do. So if you don't control it, it will just do and cause what? Fetters, problems, wrong things. Why? Because of its ignorance of itself. The ego don't know God. It edged God out. All it knows is itself. It's all based on self. Ooh, I love that. Moving on. And just as what in a dream personality merges out of what? Nowhere. When you fall asleep, all of a sudden, what I'm doing now, I go to sleep, I'm doing something else. I'm a whole different person. All together again. Unconscious, the sleep state. All right. Now, instead of knowing itself, the ego, as what? The immutable soul, the soul sees itself as the ego in the world of time and space and as that, as their reality. This is me. I'm here. Ego. Whenever you hear somebody address themselves, it is the ego. But if you don't have control of it, it will control you. Y'all blame on the devil. Oh, he's always busy. Yeah, the ego's always busy. But guess what? If you are a servant and understand and become God conscious, he's just as busy as the ego. Okay? And he's better than the ego. Excuse me. But that's the concept. Hope you're getting it. Let's go. Now, this development, which all takes place up here, would be like an ocean. Big ocean. What? Forgetting that what? It's the ocean and just believes what? That it's just a wave. I'm just a little wave. I'm just human. No, he ain't. We God's in human form. But that's the concept. If you're the ocean, you forget who you are. You think you're something else. Again, belief will steer you in the wrong direction if it's based on what? Falsehood and misconceptions or ignorance. Therefore, instead of seeing the ego seeing itself as all encompassing, all the waves in the ocean, it is concerned with what? Its transient experience, well, just me as an individual wave, and with comparing itself what? To other waves. He got more than I got. She doing better than I am. That competition nonsense that society gears you for. So understand this. Life is what? Sorrowful for a reason. From the standpoint of wisdom. Why? Because even conditions that appear to be pleasurable is what? Are really, in reality, what? Setting you up, the individual, for what? Disappointment, frustration later on down the road. Why? Because no positive situation will last indefinitely. In the words of my mom, this too soon shall pass. That's why. And also the pursuit of worldly pleasure. I've been trying to beat y'all over here with this. Your pursuit of worldly pleasures and pain sets up your mental impressions that will what? Survive even the death of the body. Why? Because it's up here. And lead the soul what? To further incarnations in search of what? Self-fulfillment. In the physical world, in the realm of time and space. Therefore, the sages, watch this, say that all life is painful to the wise. Why? This is why the yoga philosophy emphasizes on going beyond what? Both pleasure and pain in order to transcend the bondage of time and space. It's all up here. It don't calculate minutes, seconds, and hours. This can be accomplished. There we go. This is what you need to understand, right, thinkers. This can be accomplished. How? By tuning away from what? The world in which is illusionary and everything in it, and seeking to discover what? Your inner true self. He's in the air. If you in search for him, that's where he is. He's hidden for a reason. You're in search of your higher self. You're in search of what? Truth, love, all that good stuff God represents. And if you as a human being, that should be what you're in search of. Why? To know thyself, to get what? No more reincarnations of self. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I got more for you. We about to learn about the I. I'll be back. Right, thinkers? In closing, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinker like you passed away.